everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Luckily, a lot of the defensive gun use cases that I cover on this channel end well, but that's not the case all the time, especially in certain states. Today's story is exactly one that isn't going so well for the gun owner, especially considering he didn't even fire his weapon. And now that fact has turned the case into a Second Amendment battle with the state prosecutor. But before we get into the details of how and why this guy is being charged with a felony, today's video is brought to you by Blackout Coffee Company, which I had 2 giant, extra large iced coffee cups of today. Sometimes it's just, the toddler comes knocking and it's just what you need. Blackout is a family-owned roaster based in sunny Florida that roasts all of their coffee fresh to order and partners with some of your favorite channels and gun rights groups. They support vets, your rights, and know good coffee and tea. So to check them out and help support the channel, go to blackoutcoffee.com/libertydoll. Back to Michigan, which I feel like has been a popular topic on the channel lately, which does not bode well for the folks of Michigan. Sorry, folks. Last October, Isaiah Ware went to a local Kroger to pick up some lasagna for dinner. He got his stuff, went to the self-checkout, and accidentally bumped into another customer, Calvin Williams. Security footage shows the 2 men exchanging words, and then Ware, a legal gun owner and concealed carry permit holder, drew his gun. Now, footage shows he never pointed it at Williams, and witness statements confirm that. Footage shows that Ware walked away with his groceries, watched Williams as he left, and continued checking out at a different register, though another customer called the police. The cops were quick to show up and arrested Ware on the scene. He was charged with felony assault with a deadly weapon. Now, here is where things get extra interesting. Body cam footage of the event has been released showing 2 things. 1, Williams telling police that Ware, again, never pointed the gun at him, and 2, him telling police that if Ware didn't have the gun, Williams would have slammed him to the floor.
Brand releasing more body camera video where Williams tells police,
To be honest, if you wouldn't have his gun on him, I would have just seen him on the ground right there.
So flat out telling the cops that he was ready to assault this guy and would have if he didn't have a gun. Now, under Michigan state law, use of deadly force is justified when an individual honestly and reasonably believes that the use of deadly force is necessary to prevent the imminent death of or imminent great bodily harm to himself or herself or to another individual. The question becomes, does being slammed to the ground or threatened to be slammed to the ground constitute great bodily harm, and did Williams make other threats against Ware? That part we don't know. The entire idea of being able to carry a gun in public is being able to defend yourself wherever you are allowed to carry, including in a Kroger. Most offensive gun uses don't even involve a trigger pull, where only pulling out the gun is enough to de-escalate the situation, and this seems to be one of those situations. I will say, we only have Ware's side of the story for the most part, but we do have Williams, again, on camera and in police statements, so 2 places saying that the gun is what stopped him from assaulting Ware, which means the presence of the gun did its job. On top of not actually pointing the gun at anyone, it doesn't exactly seem like an open and shut case for assault with a deadly weapon, but prosecutors are moving forward. In an official statement to Local 4 News, the county prosecutor's office said, "Our #1 priority is public safety. This case stems from an incident inside a grocery store where a witness called 911 and reported that a customer pulled a gun on another customer. The Bloomfield Township Police responded immediately, investigated, and brought the case to our office for charges. Because this case remains pending, we will not comment further on the specific circumstances, but we take such cases very seriously and we will continue to pursue appropriate charges." Now, we don't know what was said between the 2 men to make Ware pull out his gun in the first place, and as far as we can tell on the footage, nothing went beyond verbal threats until Ware pulled the gun. An argument could be made for misdemeanor brandishing, as in Michigan, it's not outright defined. One source says that all it requires to get a brandishing charge in Michigan is displaying, pointing, or waving a firearm with the intent to cause fear in another person. That charge is punishable by up to 90 days in jail, 2 years probation, and a $100 fine. But there are exceptions for self-defense situations. Now, from what I understand, the qualifier in Michigan is similar to Massachusetts, where the qualifier is if someone was scared. Well, if someone called 911, it sounds like someone was scared. So not really sure how that would play out. Meanwhile, according to Michigan law, felonious assault requires the person to actually point or aim the gun at another person, which Ware clearly didn't do. In both cases, if convicted, he would lose his permit. But under the brandishing charge, he'd at least be able to reapply in 8 years. With the felony charge, well, that's pretty obvious. The case is set to go to trial on June 17th. The state still has time to drop the charges, but betting from the statement that they recently gave to the news, doesn't look like that's happening. So what it will come down to is convincing a jury what is and isn't considered self-defense and what is and isn't considered a threat. All right, folks, that is it for this video. And again, a perfect demonstration of why if you own a gun, you should probably have some sort of legal services set up or on speed dial. And with that, you guys know the drill for all of the algorithm things. Like, share, and subscribe. If you are new here, ring that notification bell. Drop a comment down below to help with the algorithm. And as always, thanks for tuning in and happy shooting.